For Worship Wednesday, I talked about how we need to allow God to walk into our lives. Because when He walks into our lives and when He walks into rooms and situations in our lives, then the things can begin to change. Then the things that we need can begin to happen. Then the manifestations of what His glory is going to do in our lives can manifest. But the way you have to look at it is this way. We are all a house. So you as your body as a house, imagine being a house and you have several different rooms, and you have a room for maybe your finances, a room for relationships, a room for unanswered prayers, a room that has clutter in it that only you want to go into. You don't want to let nobody else in that room except for God. Maybe a room for your kids if you have kids, maybe a room for your job, a room for any problems that you're dealing with. And you have all these rooms. And see, if it's made up like a house, you have your living room, your kitchen, your dining room, you got your bedrooms. Now see, I grew up in a house where we tend to have barbecues and people coming over, and you always had somebody coming over. And when I was younger, my parents used to always say, go shut the doors to your rooms so that nobody goes back into your stuff and goes back in there, because you don't want people in your area, in your stuff. So we would shut the rooms to the hallways. And the only people that had access to those rooms were people that actually knew us on that level to be able to get behind those doors. It was usually family or close friends that sometimes may come in the room with us while the barbecue or the party's going on and be talking to us, or let us show you something in this room. Well, I'm here to tell you today that God told me to tell every single person watching this video, stop keeping me out of rooms. Unlock the doors and let me have access to every room in your house, to every room in your life, to every room that you have. And He doesn't care how cluttered the room may be. He doesn't care if the room may be dirty. He doesn't care if it's got issues. He doesn't care if it's got mess. He is the ultimate cleaner. He is the ultimate provider. He is the ultimate restorer. He is the ultimate one that can fix any single one of your problems that's dwelling inside a room in your house. Sometimes we keep God in an area where we say, God, you can stay in the living room of my life, but you can't come into the back rooms. You can't come into the private areas of where I take my closest and my friends and my family or people that I want to take. So what happens is we as individuals, we end up letting some other person in the room that we think can fix it with only earthly help. But we got a God who is a supernatural God that can help you supernatural ways like you've never seen before. But you have to give Him access to your rooms. You have to give Him access to not just the living room of your heart, but you have to give Him access to every single room inside of your life. Like I said, you may have a room for finances. You have to give Him access so that He can be able to show you what needs to be done. You may have a room that has clutter in it. And sometimes you know how in your house you got that one room that you throw everything in and you just throw all the stuff in and you're like, I'll get it later, and you got to go and clean it up. God is saying, let me go in there and clean it up. Because my presence can do far more by walking into your rooms than you trying to fix it on your own. See, I'm reminded of the scripture when I was thinking about this message today in Psalms 121, 1 and 2. And he goes, I'll look up to the hills from whence cometh my help. My help cometh from the Lord. My help cometh from the one who created heaven and earth. Our God created heaven and earth. In the same way that David was like, I look up to Him because He's my help. Let's start to look to God as our help. And let Him walk in the room. Let Him walk in the room of your finances. Let Him walk in the room if you have sickness and heal your body. Let Him walk in the room of your marriage, or if you're single, and heal that area in your life and make you whole if you're single, so you can be ready for your mate and restore anything in your marriage and keep your marriage strong if you're married. Well, let Him walk in the room with your kids if you have children and you need God to intervene in that area. Let Him walk in the room if you are cluttered in areas and you don't know what's going on, but you need Him to rectify it and fix it. Let Him walk into the room. Because the one thing that I can always tell you is that when somebody of notable or high dignity or of class walks into a room, everybody notices. So once you begin to release Him from just the living room of your heart and let Him go into every room of your life and every area of your life, then people will begin to notice who walked into your rooms. People will begin to notice who walked into your life. And people will begin to say, what is that fixed you? What is that fixed your rooms? What is that changed you? Why is it that I see the glory around you? Why is it that I see the glory of God in the situation coming from you? Because you allowed God to no longer stay in that place where you keep guessed at when you don't want him to come back, but you gave him full access, because you have to remember he's family. He is a father. He is our Father, and he is the Most High God that has complete access to us, and we should have complete access to him, because Jesus, we can go to him at any time. So I hope you were blessed by today's message. Remember, you are a house, and you have several different rooms. Don't leave God in the hallway of your life, but you let him in every room so that he can fix your problems, and you look to him like David looked at him, as the help, because he did create the heavens and the earth, and he created you, therefore making him have full access to you. So open up them doors and let him in. Be blessed.